How's it going, Leewood Prez? It's a beautiful day. I hope you're feeling the love and grace of Jesus. I'm feeling the sunshine right here in my backyard. I got Bo. Bo! We haven't trained Bo very well. Come here, Bo. If he pops in, he might make a cameo. Anyway, I'm reading from the most popular miracle in all the Gospels. In fact, it's the only miracle that all four Gospels record. It's Jesus feeding the 5,000. Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, and a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than a half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here's a boy with 5 small, wait for it, barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" You know the story. Jesus feeds the 5,000. And most believe that's roughly 15,000 or more that get fed from barley loaves, from a little lunchbox. I remember friends that had a Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox that I so badly wanted, but it's too much of a commentary to say why my parents wouldn't let me watch on Friday night, so I'd have to go to my friend Jamie Beach's house to watch Daisy Duke and Bo and Luke Duke and Roscoe Pico Train here, Cletus, you dipstick, all these things. Anyway, that's what I think of when I think of lunch boxes or a boy with lunch and multiplying the barley loaves. It's the only gospel that mentions barley loaves. What's that all about? By the way, keep in mind that Jesus is grieving the loss of his cousin, John the Baptist, Herod Antipas. Oh, now my dogs are coming. Look at Teddy. You can't see Teddy because he's a mini. Mini, but a big trouble. Let me just say that. But anyway, he's grieving and he's trying to get away from the people. That's something we forget about Jesus being human and fully God. And he needed a break. Sometimes people are a lot, if you know what do they say? Church would be easy if it weren't for the people. Anyway, so what am I saying? He's trying to get away, and then the people keep coming at him and they have needs, and he has compassion on them. Literally, it's translated as, well, Matthew recounts it as more of compassion on the physical need. It says that he felt the hunger in his gut. But John sees it differently. Remember, it's later, like second generation followers of Jesus. And it's more like this is a teaching moment that John wants to have for you and for me and for his audience then. And it's a spiritual need, just as real as the physical need. So anyway, they multiply the loaves, the barley loaves. What's the deal with that? Well, it's a reference back to 2 Kings. God's people, the Israelites, the Hebrew nation, they knew of Elisha, one of the great prophets amongst the Hebrew people. And there's a story where a man brought him 20 loaves of barley bread. So a significant detail that the others, for whatever reason, didn't include it, but John's gospel did. And it's because he's making this connection to what Elisha was, a prophet. And the story goes on to say how there are like 100 people, these 20 barley loaves won't feed everybody. And then the Lord inspired Elisha to say, "Let them eat, and there will be more than enough, there will be leftovers." And sure enough, in the story, it says, "Let them eat, there will be more than enough, there will be leftovers." And there were 12 baskets of leftovers. Some scholars have said that that represents the 12 tribes of God's people, the 12 disciples, the culmination of Jesus being the complete fulfillment of the law and the prophets, all right there. So what's going on? Jesus is saying to you and to me, real power is not in the kings wielding power. Jesus was saying, I'm with the people, not above the people. And they kept wanting him to be their Messiah, their Savior, their rescuer, with power to overthrow the evil government of their day, the Roman Empire. And Jesus is saying, no, I am with the people and I speak to power. I do not possess and wield king's powers. Now, there is power that can accomplish some things. But there... Oh, that's hilarious. Well, Ted, hey, what you doing? you're just kind of messing up you gotta come this way, and then this way, and then that way, and we're back in business, I think. Are we? Are we still recording? This is hilarious. Well, we're not changing. We're rolling with it. We are rolling with it. And I think we're still going, are we? Oh yeah, we're going. Anyway, the point is this, that real power is not the power that demands you bend your knee. That's not worth your allegiance. Real power is the welcoming power and love of Jesus. Jesus is inviting you and me in this moment when John, inspired by God, mentions the barley loaves, that we can have faith that more than what we can see is possible. And the real power is this generosity, this love, this invitational. What we say at LPC is that we are together for our neighbors, the next generation, and those in need. That three-letter word, for, is the gospel. God is for you. He is for us. And that's what the barley loaves in the story of John's gospel of the feeding of 5,000 means. It's not so much about the miracle of feeding 5,000. It's the reference back to saying, God, Jesus himself is with us, and he speaks to power. He doesn't wield power over us. So may you experience the powerful grace and love of God today, and be that welcoming, powerful love to others who need that. I speak to so many people. In fact, just today, I was in dear friend's home from our church family, talking about wounds from organizational church leadership. And it happens. No church is perfect. We're all broken. I'm lead amongst us. But may we be humble, may we own up, and may we grow up in the likeness of Christ. I love you, LPC. Keep loving God and keep loving others, and keep being for our neighbors, the next generation, and those in need. God bless. Oh, Teddy, Bo, you crazy dogs. Look at these crazy dogs.